In November 1860, a deeply divided nation faced an election that would determine its future. Abraham Lincoln's victory as the 16th President of the United States set the stage for the Civil War, as his anti-slavery platform proved unacceptable to the South. 4 candidates contested the presidency, reflecting the fractured state of American politics. Abraham Lincoln, representing the newly formed Republican Party, ran on a platform to stop the spread of slavery into new territories. The Democratic Party split, with Stephen A. Douglas championing popular sovereignty and John C. Breckinridge appealing to pro-slavery Southerners. A 4th candidate, John Bell of the Constitutional Union Party, called for unity above all else. Lincoln's support came overwhelmingly from the North, where industrialization and abolitionist sentiment were growing. The Southern states, reliant on slavery to sustain their agrarian economy, viewed his election as a direct threat to their way of life. On November 6, 1860, Lincoln won with just 40% of the popular vote, but a decisive majority in the Electoral College. He carried every northern state but none in the South, illustrating the deep sectional divide. For the South, his victory was the final straw. Within weeks of Lincoln's election, South Carolina became the first state to secede from the Union, followed by 6 others. Together they formed the Confederate States of America, a new government that declared its independence in February 1861. Lincoln faced the monumental challenge of preserving the Union without igniting further violence. In his inaugural address, he appealed for peace, declaring, "We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies." But the divisions were too great, and by April 1861, the first shots of the Civil War were fired at Fort Sumter. The election of 1860 was more than a political contest. It was a turning point that defined the fate of a nation. It reminds us that leadership and principles can change the course of history. Subscribe to emgoTV Media for more stories of conflict, courage, and the forces that shaped America. Stories in the Key of Life.